Out here in this dating world, is it harder for men or is it harder for women?
Women got to go out here and deal with y'all niggas. It's not like they're allowed to go out there and shoot their own shots. They'll be shunned. Even the ones who are willing to do that, hey, the niggas who they might want don't like that.
It is harder if you're a man dating with intention to be out there and be your genuine self.
Men's hard is kind of front-loaded. Women's hard kind of shows up over time.
There's literally a real threat to women when men are rejected. Men are so afraid of being embarrassed, whereas women, we're afraid of being unalive.
Out here in this dating world, is it harder for men or is it harder for women? Like, I'd like for science to answer that, because I think even tonight we might be divided on the issue. I was watching a lady, give you some context, watching this lady on the internet, right? And she was talking about how she was like, yo, ladies, I just got to side with the men. She was like, it's hard out here for men. She was like, y'all expect these things that are in conflict. You know, you expect the man to be in touch with his feelings, but you don't want him crying around you, or you don't want him to be too emotional, and you want him to be a high earner, but he needs to spend a lot of time with you. But he's got to, spend time making that money to be a high earner. Or, you want this and you want that, and you want all these things. So many demands on men just to be viable in the dating pool. I mean, so I guess what I really want to ask you guys is, do men really have it harder in modern dating? Or are they just saying that because they're tired of the competition? You know what I mean? And who's really struggling more out here? Is it the ones chasing or the ones being chased? And we want to get into which is which out here. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Who is having a harder time out here, men and women? What do you think?
Real quick, I do want to, because she was being a pick-me,
She was spitting facts.
I just want to give her a shout out. I don't remember who she was. There's nothing wrong with being a pygmy. You know what I mean? But I think she was being one. Okay. And fuck it. You know what? I feel like fighting. And anybody who would say it is harder for men today, you're either being a pygmy or I don't know whatever it is for a man. Fuck it. I'm going to say that from fucking jump. Okay, how the fuck is it harder for men today? Matter of fact, I'm gonna wait. Does anybody here believe it's harder for men today? Because if it's not, then I don't. You think it's harder for men?
I think it's harder. And
anybody else?
I guess, yeah.
Just be quick. Anyone else? Okay, well, fuck it then. Okay, well, I'll just go ahead and go. Fuck, I'm just trying to give y'all a chance before I burn this bitch down. Harder for men to date. Where? How? Please explain to me, how is it harder for men to date? I guess I'm still trying to wrap my fucking mind around. Listen, if y'all know me, y'all watch me long enough, y'all know I fuck with niggas. You know what I'm saying? I support brothers in their challenges, okay? But if we're talking about harder, I'm not saying that it's not hard for men to date. We're talking about whether it's harder for men to date. Why? Because they're getting all these signals from all these people out here. They don't know which direction to turn to. You're supposed to be this way. You're supposed to be... Nah, bigger, be yourself. It is not that fucking hard if you cut through the bullshit. Y'all motherfuckers be making this shit hard. It's going for men and women, but I'm talking about men, right? Like how? How, bro? Are you overshooting your shot? You don't know that you ain't gonna get that girl? You don't know that? Somebody got to tell you that. You got to bump your head a couple times, huh? Even women know to get a starter house. Why don't you get you a starter girl? You know what I'm saying? Y'all out here overshooting y'all shot and shit. So, oh my God, it's hard. Yeah, shooting 3-pointers is hard, my guy. That's why most people can't do it well. Okay? Why don't you try shooting some layups first and then step your game out a little bit? I don't understand what the fuck is harder. Right? Women got to go out here and deal with y'all niggas. You know what I'm saying? Be at the behest of y'all niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're allowed to go out there and shoot their own shots. They'll be shunned. Right? Even the ones who are willing to do that, hey, the niggas who they might want don't like that. So it's like, fuck. Right? So they're at the mercy of whoever Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to walk up to them at somebody's fucking bar and hope he got some fucking game. How is that not hard? The fuck? You know what I'm saying? And they're getting fucked. You know what I'm saying? How is that not hard? You know what I'm saying? Like, they got to hope that you bringing something, you're going to be on top of them. You got to be gentle or supportive. Man, what the fuck are we talking about, dog? Like, how is it hard for men to fucking date? You know what I'm saying? The reason why I feel like niggas say this shit, and I hate to say this because I love y'all niggas, man, but that's why I said y'all should let me go first. Because how is it harder and you're a man, fam? Fam, you can pay for pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there's different things that you can do. What the fuck? What's harder about dating women, man? Now, if you say, hey, is it harder to find a wife? Okay. Now we might be talking. You know what I'm saying? But even then, y'all cap. Right? Because what's y'all qualifications? For real, for real. So no, I'm going to have to hear more because there is no fucking way that it's hard for men to date. Because the only way is what, financially? That's what's harder. What? The fuck out of here. What is harder? That's what I want to know. Somebody else go. Please.
So here's why it's harder, right? Because we're not talking about banging out in the streets. We're not talking about shooting up the club. We're not talking about getting your rocks off. We're talking about actual dating. You're actually seeing a person. And we're talking about, so when I talk about dating, yes, Nick, I'm talking about dating with intention, right? Not out here just trying to get your dick wet. I'm mean actually trying to link up with somebody. And yes, it can be harder because there's a certain point of compatibility and matching with a person that requires a certain level of vulnerability, a certain level of showing your hand. Right. And you can't show your hand to everybody. Everybody might not understand that. And then there's the timing involved. And with the expectations between what a man is supposed to be based on TV and what a man is in real life with his real struggles, right? They don't always add up. So this man has a choice then. He either needs to project what he would like to appear, or he can just go out there, like you say, Nick, and just be himself. But guess what, sir? You out there being yourself, it will be harder. You will not have the same success as people who are out there putting on the front, putting their representative forward, right? Or just shooting up the club. It is harder if you're a man dating with intention to be out there and be your genuine self and find it reflected or find it accepted, applauded with the same frequency. It is more of a struggle. And women are expected, not expected, women are allowed, right, to be all over the map and still be who they are. To be this one day, that one day, this one day, that. Men are not allowed or afforded often, particularly in dating when you're still in the whole choosing phase, to show how all your different sides, right? Oh, you're taking me too fast. It's too much for me. I don't think women today are ready for multifaceted men. And all men are multifaceted to some degree. And how many facets they're able to show in this process of finding a partner that they're serious about, that it can be a challenge. I think it's harder for men. That's why I say that. Go ahead. Who's next?
That's Cap. That's so good. What the hell?
You call it Cap all you
want
to.
Did Jay say anything? Did anybody hear Jay say anything?
Whatever.
I was about to refute everything he said.
Okay,
Come on with it. Come on with it.
So when I first heard this topic and her speaking, at first I'm like, oh, okay, I can see some of her points, maybe, perhaps. But then I started thinking about the real facts. The fact that women do have it harder. And I like the emphasis on the because that's the clear line where we can delineate. Everyone has it hard out here. We're not saying it's not hard for folks to date. And you were talking about intentional dating. Well, women actually tend to go in with the purpose of intentional dating and get met with a representative. But that's not why we have it harder per se. You know why we have it harder? Because let me ask you this. When was the last time that you, well, not you, but somebody, a man that you know who's text your girl, I'm about to go on a date. Here's my location. When was the last time that you had to let your friends know who you're going out with because you're afraid that if you reject them, that they might either get physical with you, unalive you? There's literally a real threat to women when men are rejected. Men are so afraid of being embarrassed, whereas women, we're afraid of being unalive. We're afraid of being slapped, violently beaten. And that's a worst case scenario. I'm not saying that's the case for every single case, but the fact that my friend, if she's going on a date, has to text me and say, hey, I'm going out with XYZ. Here's a picture. Here's what he looks like. And this is where we're going. This is actually why I support coffee dates, versus regular dates. I actually support coffee dates because it is an opportunity to get to know in a environment where it's not there's no pressure on either party's part. So I support the coffee date. But let's talk about how else it's harder. So as you know, in these streets today, we always get told women over 35, as for the, what's the word? Not for the streets, but they're old and they're no value and so forth. And so so the fact that women are aged out of dating, right? So men can get, how can I put it? Plumpalicious, they can be balding, they can have all these things, but they're not judged for that. But women are, right? Now, once we get over the age of 35, all of a sudden we should be dating. We're like old school moms or something. And next thing you know, we should be put out to the pasture because we're no good. So that's something else that they're competing against just on the fact that social media already told them that over 35, they ain't no good. God forbid if she's overweight. God forbid if she's thick in any shape, way, or form. God forbid if she wear lashes, if she has on a wig, if she put any forth effort because now she's judged for wearing too much makeup. she's judged for having, there's a little thing that went around saying that you should meet your woman at a pool, like for the first date, take her swimming so you can see what she really looked like. And it's like, well, damn, if I'm putting forth all this effort to show up as at least this person, to show that I'm putting this effort and this is the response that I'm getting, then why should I show up like that? So, and that's just part of it. So let's talk about that other thing that you mentioned about the intentionality. You know what happens when a man chooses wrong, right? He don't get the blame for choosing wrong in general. Largely, the women get the blame for choosing wrong. If she dates somebody who's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, or the relationship fails, the woman is blamed for it. And not only is she blamed for it, God forbid if she has a kid by this person, because now she's judged for being a single mama. She has it hard. Matter of fact, single mamas have it hard dating, period. So that's a whole nother subcategory and subgroup. So I disagree. Men do not have it harder. And at first, when I was listening to her, I was like, why? She might have a point, because we're asking for, you calling them sassy because they're doing this or that. But then I realized that person ain't dating the right person then. He needs to expand his circle if he in a circle where the women are calling him sassy while he's trying to be emotionally intelligent or vulnerable or whatnot. And that's an opportunity, because guess what? In most cases, women still outnumber men. So therefore, he has plenty of opportunities to go out and find that. But let's be on the fair side, because I want to be fair. Men do have to approach the women, and that may be hard because no one wants to be rejected. And is that where we're speaking from? Are we speaking from a place of rejection? Because no one wants to be rejected. So I understand that may be hard. Oh, I got to go approach this person. God forbid if she's with a group of, now I will admit, if she with a group of women, go ahead and wait till she go to the bathroom. So that's my advice to you men. If you see a woman you want and she's with a group of women, wait till she go to the bathroom or go to the bar or go somewhere away. Or matter of fact, now I'm giving examples. Or you can pull her from the group and say, hey, let me talk to you for a minute, or whatever the case. If you got that such strong fear of rejection, there's other ways that you can approach this woman. So men do not have it harder. I believe that's all cap, because men can get older and they're talking about, oh, they aging like fine wine, and they don't get judged for their aging, right? They can have erectile dysfunction and they still out here dating and choosing women under the age of 35, apparently, because 35 and older is old milk, I guess, overbaked. And so that's all I'm going to say on that part. So,
first, your first point of the dangers of women, right? The dangers to women in dating. If you own plenty of fish, it's dangerous to men too. But beyond that, there are crazy women out there. And by your own account, there are more women than men. So the math would say there's probably more crazy women out there than there are crazy men. And just like, and while a man might not have to be as concerned about getting beat up by his potential date, he does have to worry about her following him wherever he goes and thinking they're in a relationship now because he took her to dinner. Let's talk about taking her to dinner. It's harder on your wallet. It's harder on your finances, and it's harder on your time. You talked about women and how, when they're 35 and they've aged out of the game, and how hard it is for them because their body is changing and they're looking older now and blah, 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 blah. That's y'all's fault. It's your fault for creating a culture that says the woman's value in the dating game is her body and her face, right? That stuff ages. That's y'all's fault.
No, sir.
What?
We did not create that. We did not create that culture. I'm calling cap on all that right now.
You certainly fed into it.
We did not create that culture. Stop it right now. Cap.
Yes, certainly fed into
use
it.
Of cap by S&M. That's an appropriate use of cap.
Whatever. So I'm saying the dangers are there for both. The dangers of lost time, lost income. And I'm not talking about rejection. I'm talking about the waste. The waste and the hurt that comes with opening up yourself to someone who is not mature enough to receive it. And yeah, that's a problem that everybody faces, right? But there are aspects of a whole being that men are not encouraged to show the world. And I agree, man, men don't show the world. The world ain't ready for it. You got to find somebody to show it. And that's the hard part. The hard part is deciding if the person you spend all this money and time on is now worth you revealing yourself to. And if not, guess what? You got to go back out there and grab another one. And that's hard.
Delvin, you don't get in there, my brother, because go ahead, man.
You know what? S&M and Jay was cooking, man. I had my popcorn. Listen, to Nick's point, I got to agree with him. It's hard all the way. It's just where the hard is distributed, I think, is kind of misleading. Men's hard is kind of front loaded. Some guys may have approach anxiety. She may have a roster already, mixed signal expectation. I want you to be multimillionaire, but I want you to be home by 5 every day. I want you to be a philosopher king, but I want you to be a hood nigga as well. Just, I want you to show up as a husband, but I'm going to, save things, or, I'm not doing wifely duties. So there's a lot of emotional, hard things that guys have to deal with too. Women's hard kind of shows up over time, pregnancy, invest in time, and ends up being a bust. So her heart is kind of spread out. But men, listen, you're not going to get out of hard. All you can do is mitigate it. And the way you mitigate your heart, to somebody's point earlier, I brought up, I can't remember, deal with women who like you. And that's where the male intuition needs to kick in. Guys, we've got to work on that male intuition. Maybe we can get science on that. You got to figure out which women genuinely like you for real. Because women who really like you, especially women who are sexually attracted to you, they're going to be a lot more agreeable, and they're going to make your time with them a lot easier. There is no zero hard scenario when dealing with women, guys. I don't know what to fucking tell you. You can make it low, but it can't be zero. You're just going to have to eat that as a man, of course. We're going to have to work on that male intuition.
Listen,
all right,
go ahead, Jay.
we'll call it a draw.
No, ain't no draw. I was about to switch sides just to make your argument relevant a little bit.
Oh, well, why don't you do that? I felt like 3-on-1,
help, huh?
It's 3-on-1. Go ahead.
No, I mean, you couldn't make the argument. It's not our fault.
I thought I did make the argument, but he recapped what y'all said. He gave a very good point of the hardness being front loaded and the hardness being back loaded for the different sexes. I agree with that. And so I'm thinking about the front part, because the front part is navigated, the back part isn't so bad. So I was willing to be diplomatic about it. But go ahead, what you got to say?
No, it's cap. All of that is cap. All of that is cap, right? Because it's harder. Suggests there was one more harder than the other, and all I heard was wah, right? And then I heard like, ooh, hard me too. Right? And I didn't hear anything that suggests that you even believe that it was harder. I mean, listen, I know we try to make the argument. I'm just saying, listen, you know what I mean? It's a hard argument to make. That's why I started off by saying anybody trying to make it, it's like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Harder, right? But Jay wants to make sure that guys know we appreciate how hard it is for y'all, even though it's not harder.